Okay, let's just jump right in. We're going to break down the surprisingly simple and honestly kind of infuriating math that separates a life of financial freedom from a life of constant money stress. And believe it or not, it all starts with just $500 a month.
You know this feeling, right? You're sitting there staring at your banking app, just trying to juggle the numbers so you can buy groceries without getting an overdraft fee. And meanwhile, your coworker, who you know makes the exact same salary as you, just posted pictures from their second vacation this year. How is that even possible? It's not a secret trust fund. They're not drowning in debt. It's because of a single, boring decision they made years ago.
To really wrap our heads around this, let's look at a tale of two people. This story shows you exactly how tiny, almost unnoticeable choices at the beginning can lead to wildly different worlds down the road. So, meet Jessica and Amanda. Both are 28 years old, both pull in $65,000 a year. On the surface, you'd think their lives are pretty much the same. But look a little closer. Jessica drives a paid-off used Honda and has been quietly putting money away. Amanda's got that brand new BMW with a hefty car payment and, well, not much in her investment account. At this point, they both probably feel like they're doing fine. But let's fast forward. And this is where it gets absolutely insane. By 35, there's a pretty noticeable gap. By 45, Amanda is probably starting to feel a little bit of panic. By 55, the math has just gone vertical. Jessica is officially a millionaire, while Amanda is desperately Googling how to catch up on retirement savings. And by 65, Jessica's retiring with over $4.3 million. Amanda, she's facing the grim reality of working until she's 72, maybe longer. Same salary, same starting line. One is free, the other is trapped.
So what was Jessica's big secret? Well, it wasn't a secret at all. It was math. It was the simple, powerful, almost magical force of compound interest that, for some crazy reason, they just don't teach you in school.
Now this part might actually break your brain a little. So if you invest $500 a month for 40 years, you'll likely end up with over $3 million. But look at this breakdown. Of that massive number, you only put in $240,000 of your own money. The market? It did all the heavy lifting, creating the other $2.9 million for you basically out of thin air.
Just think about that for a second. Over 92% of your final nest egg doesn't even come from your paycheck. It comes from your money making more money, all by itself while you sleep. You plant the seeds, the market grows the entire forest. This is the whole game, right here on this slide.
This is why starting early is absolutely everything. Just look at this. We have an early investor who puts in $5,000 a year for just 10 years, from 25 to 35, and then stops completely. That's $50,000 total. Then you have the late investor who waits till 35, but then invests that same amount for 30 straight years, 3 times as much money. Who wins? The early investor. The person who did less work and invested less money but started sooner ends up with more. That's compound interest punishing you for every single day you wait.
Okay, so if the math is this simple and this powerful, why isn't everybody a millionaire? Well, the answer isn't in your bank account. It's inside your own head. See, your brain has these little built-in glitches, these biases that are actively working against you building long-term wealth.
And let's be real about where the money is. You might be thinking, I don't have an extra $500. But the average person spends over $270 on subscriptions, all those streaming services and apps, and another $280 on eating out, every single month. The money is there. We just need to really see what it's truly costing us. And this is the reframe that changes everything. That $280 a month on restaurants and takeout, over 30 years, if you invested it instead, it becomes over $632,000. So you're not choosing between cooking at home or getting delivery. You are literally choosing between DoorDash tonight or retiring years earlier with an extra $500,000 in the bank.
So why do we make that choice? Well, here's why. First, your brain is wired for instant gratification. That's present bias. It wants the pizza now, not the $1 million in 30 years. It's also terrified of losing money, even for a short time. That's loss aversion. And every time you get a raise, your brain immediately finds new things to spend it on, which is a trap called lifestyle inflation. These 3 things, they're the enemy of your future self.
But what about the biggest fear, right? What if the market crashes and I lose everything? Let's just kill that fear right now with cold, hard data. Over any 20-year period in its entire history, the S&P 500 has never lost money. Not once. Through world wars, depressions, tech bubbles, housing crises, if you just stay invested for the long term, you have always come out ahead. Period. And hey, if you're thinking this is a strategy only for people with high-paying jobs, let me tell you about a guy named Ronald Reed. His story is the ultimate proof that this system works for absolutely anyone. So Ronald Reed never earned a big salary. He worked as a janitor and a gas station attendant his entire life. But what he did was live simply and invest every spare dollar he had, week after week, for decades on end. When he passed away at 92, his community was stunned to find out his estate was worth over $8 million. He was a multimillionaire hiding in plain sight.
And Ronald's story just illustrates what we're really talking about here. He probably could have retired at 50, but he kept working because he actually enjoyed it. That is true financial freedom. It's not about yachts and sports cars. It's about having the power to choose how you spend your one life, without money being the thing that calls all the shots.
Okay, so here it is, the actual plan, and it takes less time than ordering a pizza. Step 1, you open a special retirement account called a Roth IRA. Just think of it as a savings account that the government gives you a huge tax break for using. Step 2, you link your bank. Step 3, you buy one single, boring, low-cost S&P 500 index fund. That just lets you own a tiny piece of the 500 biggest companies in America. Step 4, set up that automatic monthly investment. And then step 5, and this is the most important one, you walk away. You forget the password, you just let it do its thing for the next few decades. That's it.
Look, I can show you all the math and tell you all the stories, but none of it matters if you don't actually do something. The choice you make right now, in the next 30 minutes, will literally decide which of two very different futures you're going to live.
Because here's the brutal truth. Every single day you put this off, the goal gets harder. The target moves further away. If you just wait 10 years to get started, you will have to invest more than double the money every month just to end up in the exact same place. The math is just unforgiving like that.
So this is it. This is the choice. Future A, you take 30 minutes today, you set this up, and in 40 years you have millions of dollars, you have freedom, you have security. Or future B, you say I'll do it later, and you spend the next 40 years working, stressed out, trapped by bills, and filled with regret, wondering where all your money went. The answer will have been car payments and streaming services. Both of these futures are 100% possible. The only thing that determines which one becomes your reality is what you do in the next few minutes. The choice is completely yours. The math is already running. The only question is, are you?